In January 2026, a restaurant company with over 100 locations suddenly filed for bankruptcy. But this wasn't just any restaurant company. This was the parent company of Twin Peaks, one of the fastest growing sports bar chains in America, a brand that was expanding, opening new locations, and attracting millions of customers every year. So how does a growing restaurant company suddenly go bankrupt? What went wrong behind the scenes? And the biggest question of all, will Twin Peaks survive, or is this the beginning of the end? This is the story of Twin Hospitality Group and how rapid growth, massive debt, and dangerous financial decisions pushed it to the edge of collapse. To understand this bankruptcy, we first need to understand Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks was founded in 2005 in Texas. The concept was simple but extremely powerful. It combined three things Americans love: sports, food, and entertainment. Twin Peaks was designed as a sports lodge style restaurant with large TVs, cold beer, and a unique customer experience. Unlike traditional sports bars, Twin Peaks focused heavily on atmosphere. This helped the brand stand out in a crowded restaurant market. Customers loved it. The company began expanding rapidly across the United States. More customers arrived, more revenue flowed in. Twin Peaks became one of the fastest growing restaurant chains in America. It looked like a huge success story, but behind the success, dangerous financial risks were building. Twin Hospitality Group was created as the parent company to manage restaurant brands like Twin Peaks, Smokey Bones. The goal was simple: expand faster, open more locations, increase revenue, and dominate the restaurant industry. Expansion requires money, lots of money. To grow faster, Twin Hospitality began taking on large amounts of debt. To grow fast, debt can be useful if managed properly, but if growth slows down or profits fall, debt becomes extremely dangerous. And that's exactly what happened. Twin Hospitality continued expanding aggressively. New restaurant locations required construction costs, staff salaries, equipment, marketing, operating expenses. All of this required massive investment. The company expected future profits to cover these costs, but the restaurant industry is extremely competitive. Costs were rising, labor costs increased, but profits did not increase fast enough. The company was now carrying hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. Reports showed Twin Hospitality had over $400 million in secured debt. This created enormous financial pressure. The company now had to make large debt payments regularly. Even a small slowdown could create serious problems, and debt is dangerous because it creates fixed obligations. No matter what happens, companies must make payments. If revenue drops, debt payments remain the same. If costs increase, debt payments remain the same. Twin Hospitality was now trapped. They needed continuous growth just to survive. But growth began slowing. The restaurant industry was becoming more competitive. Customers had more choices than ever before. Inflation increased operating costs. Profit margins became thinner. The company had less cash available, but debt payments continued. This created a dangerous cycle. More debt, more pressure, less flexibility. The company was now vulnerable. Finally, in January 2026, Twin Hospitality Group made a shocking announcement. The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. This allowed the company to restructure its debt and avoid immediate collapse. Bankruptcy does not always mean a company shuts down. Instead, it gives companies time to reorganize and survive. Twin Hospitality announced that its restaurants, including Twin Peaks and Smokey Bones, would remain open. Customers could still visit locations. Operations would continue. But behind the scenes, the company was fighting for survival. This was a critical moment. The future of the company was uncertain. There wasn't just one reason, there were multiple reasons. First, excessive debt. The company borrowed too much money. This created huge financial obligations. Second, aggressive expansion. Opening too many locations too quickly increased costs. Third, rising operating costs. Food, labor, and operating expenses increased significantly. Fourth, slower profit growth. Revenue growth was not fast enough to support the debt. These factors combined created a perfect financial storm. Eventually, bankruptcy became unavoidable. Now the most important question, 20 plex on to cast intact to 21 in hospitality survive. The answer is uncertain. Chapter 11 Bankruptcy gives the company a chance to restructure. They may reduce debt, close underperforming locations, improve efficiency, and focus on profitability. Twin Peaks remains a strong brand. It still has loyal customers. If the company manages its finances properly, it could survive. But if financial problems continue, the situation could worsen. Many famous restaurant chains have disappeared after bankruptcy. Others have successfully recovered. Twin Hospitality now stands at a crossroads. Its future depends on the decisions made today. Twin Hospitality Group's bankruptcy is a powerful reminder of a simple truth in business. Growth alone is not enough. Companies must manage debt carefully. Rapid expansion without financial stability can be dangerous. Twin Peaks went from fast growth to financial crisis in just a few years. Now, the company is fighting for survival. The question is no longer how fast it can grow. The question is whether it can survive at all, and only time will tell. If you found this story interesting, you'll also want to watch our video on Red Lobster's bankruptcy, another restaurant giant fighting for survival. Thank you for watching.